Today I have a review that has probably been long awaited for a lot of people, and that is my review on the Flair Go. The Flair Go is Flair's take on portable espresso. I find this super interesting because if you've been around this channel for a while, you know that this started from me owning a Flair. I did a lot of research 7-8 years ago about what machine I wanted for the best value for home espresso, and that was when Flair was new and there wasn't a lot of information around. So I made a video after I purchased the Flair answering a lot of the questions I had, and it went well, and that started this whole foundation for a YouTube channel. So I think it's very fitting that I'm still reviewing Flair products today, many years later. But from the very beginning, Flair has been kind of known as a travel espresso maker. It folded up, it came with its own carrying case from the very beginning, and it was designed at people bringing espresso on the go. However, what kind of happened was Flair found out people ended up buying the Flair not to travel with, but as their dedicated home espresso machine because it offered a lot of value in a small and affordable package. You can get just as good quality of shots with a Flair as you can with machines that are thousands and thousands of dollars more expensive. So this is when I want to talk about some of my features and frustrations and experience with the Flair Go. And the first thing I want to say is I don't really understand why it exists. Now, to support this channel, if you could please like and subscribe. We're going to answer all your questions on the Flair. If you have any questions, let it be known in the comments below. I'd love to help you out there. And lastly, if you're looking at purchasing a Flair, please use the link in the description. I'll make a small commission at no extra charge to you. So the Flair Go comes in at $200, and it folds up in the space. I'm going to try to throw some B-roll in here. We'll see how that goes. But the Flair has switched up some things on this Flair Go. So instead of it being a two-piece thing like all Flairs have been kind of known to be so far, it is now a one-piece completely foldable machine. So that top lever, the bottom lever, and all the things fit together nicely in this little travel case that's much smaller than the original Flair case for the Flair Classic or the Flair Pro. They switched the cylinder to Flair's no preheat cylinder, which was first made available on the Flair Neo. It's thinner walls and it claims to be no preheat, which I found that you can pull a good shot without preheating it. However, you're always going to get better results if you preheat it. Now, this is different than the brew head on the Flair Classic. The Flair Classic has that traditional one in there, and that one is going to come in at about $165 without a pressure gauge. You're going to get that full metal base that's two pieces, a travel case with it, tamper, all that stuff, or you jump up to $229, so about $29 more than the Flair Go, and you'll get that pressure gauged in there. Now, that pressure gauge and that piston is all one piece on the Flair Go, so it's all made out of plastic, versus the Flair Classic or the Flair Pro 3 for that matter. You're going to have a metal ring that is going to fit inside the brew head, and the piston that has the pressure gauge on it is going to slip inside that metal ring, and that's how you brew and disassemble it, versus the Flair Go has that one piece that is all together. Now, the Flair Go also comes with a little tiny travel tamper that is okay. It's at least metal and it fits well in there, but it's not the most pleasing to use. Now, this is kind of where things get a little iffy on here. On the Flair Go, you produce great shots with it. It's a Flair product. It is sturdy. It is well built. You're going to pull just as good a shot on it as you are with the Flair Classic, and vice versa on it. Like any product really that you buy from Flair is going to pull a good shot. It comes with a single wall basket, which allows you to create the resistance that you need with the grinder that you'd have. I don't know if it fits the Neo basket. I didn't have any one of those on my countertop. That I had an older generation, but that didn't fit. I think the newer one does fit, so if you wanted to use pre-ground coffee, you could probably put a Neo basket on the Flair Go. I would confirm that with Flair before you would purchase that. You can also use pods with it, so it comes with a pod adapter that you can spend an extra $25 on, making it $225 to get a travel case with the pod adapter, and you can brew pods with it. You're still going to need a hot water source with it, and it is what it is. They also created a Flair scale with a cup in there. Now it's a nice scale. It's $50. It comes with a cup, but frankly, I didn't find the cup that enjoyable to drink through. The scale didn't have a timer on it, so I personally would just recommend spending $50 on a different scale and buy a cup to bring with you. I really like the Husky cups. I feel like they fit super, super well into the realm of building things. Now, some of the issues I have with the Flair Go is it doesn't come aligned out of the box. So when I originally used it, it kind of felt like it was skipping pressures, it didn't flow smoothly, and I still haven't got it figured out entirely where it pulls a smooth shot. However, there's this adjustment that you have to do on the back of it. There's examples on Flair's website on how to adjust it, but basically it's leave that back leg straight, pull and put some pressure on it, and you want that little cylinder ring on the cylinder ball ring on it on top of the piston centered when you're putting pressure on the handle, and that's going to allow you to then be able to pull a smooth shot with it. There was wear right out of the box on a lot of hinges on it. You'll see a lot of complaints on that, but this is brand new. When I backed it from Kickstarter, it came with those issues with it, and it wasn't a pleasing experience. I find it very wobbly. However, I'm not scared it's going to tip over, but it doesn't feel near as stable as the Flair Classic or the Flair Pro, which is to be expected because it does fold in half very, very easily and pretty compact. It pulls a good shot. You can't really complain or say much about that. But here's the drawback, is I don't fully understand why it exists. I think it's too large to travel with. Now this is thick. It's like 4 or 5 finger widths thick. It's super long, like longer than my hand. It does look kind of compact, but there's so many other better options for it. I personally think if I'm taking up this much space in my suitcase to travel with an espresso machine, I would much rather travel with the Flair Pro 3. I find that one of the best values of espresso right now on the market. It pulls great shots, it gives you a bigger basket, it's more easy to use, and it just works better. Now the Flair Pro 3 comes in a larger case, but you can buy a smaller case with it, like the one that I have. Or there's other opportunities of things to buy. If you want the most compact thing, you could go with the Pico Presso, which is way, way smaller. I think you could fit probably 2 or 3 in this case of Pico Pressos, which is how small it is in comparison to Flair Go, which is kind of crazy to me. It also comes with a better tamper and a funnel with it, and I think it's a 51 millimeter basket in there that you can swap out for precision baskets. It's really nice in comparison of it. Now, you do have to pump it, and it feels a little bit weird in comparison to the lever thing, so there's like kind of some of the user feel of it. Or if you want something even more compact than in my opinion, a little bit more compact than the Pico Presso, is I would choose either the Turin Trek Brew or the Auden Nano. Both of those heat up water, have nice tampers, and can pull some great shots, but the main thing is they heat up water so you don't have to have a kettle, and you'll get good extraction that way, and that kind of makes me really, really hard pressed to say spend $200 on this Flair Go versus $129 on a Pico Presso versus $150 on the Trek Brew or the Auden, whatever those prices are. It doesn't make a lot of sense to spend more money to take up more space to not get a better shot. The only thing you're gaining out of that is the experience of a lever. Another thing that you might be gaining on is if you already have a Flair Classic and you have a lot of the accessories, you can then like bundle them together so you can pull back-to-back shots a little quicker if you travel. But frankly, it's too large for me to travel with, and it's at the point where it is to travel with for something that size. I'd much rather go with a Flair Pro 3 and have a better experience that way, or I'd rather go smaller and go with the Pico Presso or the Auden. Either way, I just can't really see the point of buying it. Now, that being said, I would love to hear your thoughts on it. If you bought this on Kickstarter, how has your experience been with it? Do you like traveling with it? Do you enjoy using it? This isn't going to be something that would sit on my countertop if this was my only machine because of how like tabletop wobbly it feels in comparison to another Flair, but for me, with all of the things that I've used, I can't really recommend the Flair Go. However, it's also not a bad machine. It's just I feel like there's better things out there for the value of it. So I would love to hear your thoughts on what you think about the Flair Go. If this is something that you enjoy using, if this is something that you would buy, would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And again, please like and subscribe. It helps me produce more content. If you're looking at buying this, please use the link below. I'll link together some of those other things as well too, in case you're looking for some other equipment. Thank you so much for watching.